Welcome to our channel. Today, we're embarking on an epic journey into the world of Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire. We'll show you how to read the books by George R.R. Martin to enjoy the story in line with the Game of Thrones series, House of the Dragon, and other ongoing series. Get ready for some shocking revelations, fascinating theories, and maybe a few jokes. There isn't a person in the world who doesn't like this. There are only people who have seen it and love it, and people who haven't seen it and don't know what they're missing. Write us in the comments whether you've read the books by the amazing author George R.R. Martin, or if you just watched the series where HBO has done an excellent job. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Books in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, in order. The A Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin is like a grand feast full of intrigues, battles, dragons, and of course, a plethora of characters you'll never remember. Here's your guide to enjoying it all without getting lost in Westeros. And for those of you who are afraid to even start these books, like my wife who nearly had a meltdown over their complexity, don't worry, just follow this guide and you'll navigate through the 7 kingdoms like a pro. I've made a simple list to help you with the order and progression of the books. Let's make this journey as fun as watching Tyrion drink wine and know things. First, A Game of Thrones. We start with the appetizer. Prepare for a bunch of characters, many of whom you won't get to know well because they'll soon die. Here we meet the Starks, Lannisters, Targaryens, and others. The main theme is the fight for the Iron Throne, which everyone wants but few know how to keep. You're probably wondering about the differences between the book and the series Game of Thrones. Here are some interesting ones. First, Catelyn Stark, the pragmatic mom. In the book, Catelyn Stark is more pragmatic and encourages Ned to accept the position of Hand of the King for the family's benefit. In the series, her support is more emotional and protective. Did you notice this change? Well, let's be honest. Every mom is a bit pragmatic when it comes to the family's well-being. Second, Daenerys and Drogo, love without words. In the book, Daenerys and Drogo do not initially speak the same language, and their relationship develops slowly. In the series, their relationship develops more quickly and is portrayed as more romantic. Maybe it's because TV doesn't have time for long Valyrian lessons. Third, Tyrion's nose, a small difference with a big impact. In the book, Tyrion is severely injured during the Battle of Blackwater and loses his nose. In the series, he only has a small scar because removing the nose would have been costly and time-consuming in post-production. Well, I think Peter Dinklage wouldn't agree. Better a small scar than a big loss. Fourth, character ages, growing up fast. In the book, Daenerys is 13 and Jon and Robb are 14. In the series, the characters are older. Daenerys is 17 and Jon and Robb are around 16, 17 years old. The show's creators probably didn't want us to feel so old watching teenagers with such great responsibilities. Fifth, the Iron Throne, a throne that kills. In the book, the Iron Throne is massive, asymmetrical, and made of twisted swords, looking dangerous. In the series, the throne is smaller and more uniform. In the books, the throne is so dangerous that sitting on it is actually a life challenge. On TV, it's less dramatic and maybe more comfortable. These are the differences between the first book and the first season of the series that most people already know. If you have more differences, please write them in the comments. And now, let's continue with the second book titled A Clash of Kings, which corresponds to the second season of the series. This season focuses on the War of the Five Kings, where multiple contenders vie for the Iron Throne, including Joffrey Baratheon, Stannis Baratheon, and Robb Stark. The political intrigue and battles intensify as new alliances are formed and old ones are tested. You're probably wondering about the differences between the second book, A Clash of Kings, and the second season of the series, Game of Thrones. First, Robb Stark and his love who's who. In the book, Robb Stark marries Jane Westerling after a battle to protect her honor. But in the series, Robb falls in love with and marries Talisa Maegir, a new character created for the show. Well, as long as there's romance. Second, Bran Stark, dreams and abilities. In the book, Bran has many mystical dreams, and his abilities are continuously developing. In the series, his dreams and abilities are simplified to keep the plot straightforward. The creators must have thought one magical kid per season is enough. Third, Daenerys and Korth. Where are the visions? While in the book Daenerys has numerous cryptic visions in the House of the Undying, the series simplifies these visions to fit the TV format, including a scene with Drogo and their son. Less mystery, more tears. Fourth, Arya Stark and Harrenhal change of boss. In the book, Arya serves Roose Bolton as a cupbearer, but in the series, she serves Tywin Lannister. Imagine little Arya in the kitchen with the biggest schemer in Westeros. Talk about a change of boss. Fifth, Jaime and Brienne. On the road sooner, their adventure begins in the third book, A Storm of Swords, but the series sends them on their journey in the second season. The creators probably couldn't wait for their tense and humorous interactions. Sixth, Theon Greyjoy, more drama. In the book, Theon returns to the Iron Islands and betrays the Starks. In the series, this storyline is even more dramatic to truly show the mess young Greyjoy creates. Seventh, Sansa Stark, more manipulation. In the book, Sansa is constantly manipulated by Queen Cersei. In the series, however, Sansa has more interactions with other characters like Shae, making her story even more interesting. These differences provide unique experiences from the book and the series. If you've noticed more differences, write them in the comments. Continuing our adventure with the Game of Thrones series, let's look at the third book, A Storm of Swords, and the third season of the show. Here are some interesting differences. First, Arya Stark and Sandor Clegane. Adventure awaits. In the book, Arya and Sandor travel longer and have more adventures, including arriving at the twins during the Red Wedding. The series speeds up their journey. Want more Sandor and Arya? The book is for you. Second, Jon Snow and Ygritte, Love in the North. In the book, Jon and Ygritte have more time to develop their relationship. The series accelerates their romance but still shows that sweet and bitter love in the North. Who wouldn't love Jon and Ygritte? Third, Sansa Stark and Tyrion Lannister, unwanted marriage. In the book, Sansa and Tyrion are forced to marry, with a more complex relationship full of misunderstandings. The series simplifies their marriage, but retains the unwanted nature of it. These differences provide unique experiences in both the book and the series. If you've noticed more differences, write them in the comments. Let's dive into the fourth book, A Feast for Crows, and the fifth season of Game of Thrones, and explore some of the most talked about differences. First, Cersei Lannister's Reign of Chaos. In the book, following Tywin Lannister's death, Cersei's rule is marked by cronyism and paranoia. She fills her council with incompetent sycophants and alienates her allies, leading to economic disaster and her own imprisonment by the Faith Militant. The series captures Cersei's manipulative nature, but simplifies some political maneuvers for dramatic effect. The Faith Militant's rise is a bit more straightforward in the show, but still a mess Cersei creates. Second, Jaime Lannister's adventures. Jaime's mission to the Riverlands in the book involves complex negotiations and subtle tactics to capture Riverrun without bloodshed. In the series, his storyline is shifted to Dorne, where he has a swashbuckling adventure with Bronn. While the show opts for action-packed sequences, the book gives us a taste of Jaime's strategic mind and deteriorating honor. Third, Sansa Stark, the Hidden Heir. In A Feast for Crows, Sansa remains in the Vale, posing as Littlefinger's illegitimate daughter, Elaine. She learns the art of politics and manipulation under his tutelage. The series, however, moves her to Winterfell and marries her to Ramsay Bolton, merging her storyline with that of Jane Poole's from the book. This change amps up the drama, but strays significantly from her original plot. Fourth, Brienne of Tarth, the Wanderer. Brienne's quest in the book is a long, arduous journey through the Riverlands, searching for Sansa Stark. She encounters various dangers, including the Brotherhood Without Banners, now led by Lady Stoneheart, the resurrected Catelyn Stark. The series skips Lady Stoneheart entirely and focuses Brienne's storyline more directly on aiding Sansa, leading to different confrontations. Fifth, the Ironborn's Kingsmoot. In the book, after Balon Greyjoy's death, The Ironborn hold a king's moot to elect a new ruler. Euron Greyjoy wins by promising to conquer Westeros with dragons. The series introduces Euron later, and the king's moot is streamlined to fit the season's pacing. The book's detailed political maneuvering is swapped for more straightforward power struggles in the show. These differences highlight the unique experiences offered by the book and the series. If you've noticed more differences, feel free to share them in the comments. Continuing our adventure with the Game of Thrones series, let's look at the fifth book, A Dance with Dragons, and the fifth season of the show. Here are some interesting differences. First, Tyrion Lannister's journey changed destinations. In the book, Tyrion Lannister travels from Pentos to Volantis, and eventually to Meereen, where he is captured by Jorah Mormont and ends up in Daenerys' hands. In the series, his journey is sped up, and he ends up in Meereen directly. The creators probably didn't want us to get lost on the map. Second, Daenerys Targaryens rule politics with dragons. In the book, Daenerys spends a lot of time ruling in Meereen and dealing with local issues. In the series, these political intrigues are simplified, and more time is devoted to action with her dragons. Why deal with tax issues when you have dragons, right? Third, Jon Snow and Stannis Baratheon, winter is coming. In the book, Jon Snow and Stannis Baratheon have more interactions, especially regarding war strategies and politics in the north. The series simplifies their relationship and omits some of their conversations. Winter is coming and time is short. Fourth, Quentyn Martell, the Forgotten Prince. In the book, Quentyn Martell, son of Doran Martell, travels to Meereen to seek Daenerys' hand in marriage, which is an important plot line. The series completely omits him. It seems not every prince gets a happy ending. These differences provide unique experiences in both the book and the series. If you've noticed more differences, write them in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our epic journey through the world of Game of Thrones and the books of A Song of Ice and Fire. Let's recap the sequence of the books and what they bring us. Get ready for a long, fun, and motivational conclusion that will surely encourage you to share this video with friends, like it, and leave your comments. First book, A Game of Thrones. This is where it all begins. In this book, we meet the families of the Starks, Lannisters, Targaryens, and others who strive to claim the Iron Throne. Grab some popcorn because there are intrigues, betrayals, and dramas in abundance. The first book pulls us into a world where winter is coming, and we must be prepared. Second book, A Clash of Kings War, erupts in this book. Kings clash, alliances form and break. Robb Stark becomes the king in the north, Stannis and Renly Baratheon fight for the throne, and Daenerys begins her arduous rise to power. If you love battles and strategy, this book will thrill you. Third book, A Storm of Swords, prepare for an emotional roller coaster. The Red Wedding, King Robb's execution, and unexpected twists will leave you in shock. This book is full of action and drama and is one of the series' most beloved parts. If you haven't read A Storm of Swords yet, get ready for a book you won't be able to put down. Fourth book, A Feast for Crows, After the Storm Comes the Feast. This book focuses more on politics and intrigues in King's Landing and Dorne. Cersei Lannister fights for power, Jaime Lannister tries to find his place in the world, and Brienne of Tarth searches for Sansa Stark. It's a book full of mysteries and secrets. Fifth book, A Dance with Dragons. In this book, we return to Daenerys and Jon. Daenerys struggles to rule in Meereen, while Jon Snow faces challenges at the Wall. Tyrion Lannister finds his way to Meereen, where he meets Daenerys. This book is full of twists and tension, setting us up for even greater adventures. Future books, The Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring. We are still waiting for these books. The Winds of Winter will bring us more twists and battles, and A Dream of Spring is expected to wrap up the entire epic story. The wait is hard, but we know it will be worth it. What does A Song of Ice and Fire mean? A Song of Ice and Fire is more than just the series title. It's a metaphor for the entire story. The battle between cold and heat, between the North and the South, between the Starks and the Targaryens. It's a story full of contrasts and opposites, where every character has their own song and every story has its fiery and icy moments. Fun facts and theories. Hodor's identity. Did you know that Hodor means hold the door? This reveal in the series was one of the most emotional moments. R+L =. One of the most popular theories, which was eventually confirmed, is that Jon Snow is the son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. This makes Jon not only a Stark, but also a Targaryen. Green dreams. Bran Stark has the ability to see the past and the future through his green dreams. It's possible that Bran plays a key role in the fate of all Westeros. I hope you enjoyed this adventure through the world of Game of Thrones and the books A Song of Ice and Fire. If you love this series, be sure to share this video with your friends, like it, and leave your comments. What do you think of these differences? What theories do you have? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to follow for more videos where we will continue to explore this amazing world. Thanks for being here with us, and remember, winter is coming.